One of the ways to thrive, because I talk about thriving a lot. One of the ways to thrive is to have your senses engaged as much as possible. Now, your senses can be overstimulated. That's a different problem entirely. But having your senses engaged, for example, you want to get a new job, okay? Visualize that job. Picture yourself there, okay? Now, while you're there, think of what you'll be smelling. Actually engage your sense of smell in the visual you have for what you want. Think of what you'll be smelling. Think of what you'll be seeing. Think of what you'll be hearing. Think of what you'll be tasting. Now think of all those senses being engaged while you're thinking of that thing. You see, when you do it that way, you make it more likely for that thing to become a reality. So what you're doing is you're picturing in your mind's eye, and then you're lassoing it with a lasso, with a rope. And you tie it tight, yeah? And then you pull on that rope step by step until you get to that thing you visualized. Getting your senses engaged. Very important. I say this because one of the things that make you more aware of things is love. Love. And, everyone talks about love. It's almost like a cliche word sometimes, everything's about love. Because it actually kind of is. And what's the first kind of love you experience when you're born? Who's the first person that loves on you? Who's the first person that's supposed to love on you? You got it. Mommy. Mother. Mother's Day is very important to me because it's the day, although on the other 364 days, I aim to honor my mom. But that day is specifically designed to honor her even more. And it becomes important to be able to do that in such a way that it's special. Even more special than the other days together. But the truth is, and here we are, my sister is joined. Temi,
Bro.
my darling sister.
Hey,
Welcome.
bro.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic. Honor the woman in my family that are mothers, my mom, my sister, the older of my sisters. That's who you see here, Temi Bada, and then my baby sister, who'll be joining us shortly, Ebu. And the beautiful thing about it is that I get to have you on here, not just to honor you, but to take you back in time and give people a peep into our lives as a family. People call our family, what's the word they've used?
They say we're not well.
We're not well. Or we're abnormal. And
we're
and we're what? And we're what?
A mafia.
A mafia. And why do they say that? What's their reason for saying that? Why do they say that to me?
It's the unusual love and bond that we share amongst ourselves,
Absolutely.
where we're extremely in love with each other.
I love it. I love it. That's exactly, you haven't put it that way before. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
The feeling I get when I'm coming to your place is uncanny because you're less than 5 miles away from me. But the feeling I get when I know I'm going to see you, I get excited. Oh, I'm going to see Temi.
Yeah.
It's a source of excitement. And you want to have things that excite you to look forward to during the day. So when I know I'm going to go and see my sister this evening, that's a source of excitement. When any of our siblings comes to town, like when Akinka comes to town, our brother in Ohio comes to Orlando, we are up till 3 a.m. And it's definitely you and him are up till 3 a.m. I was working the last time, so I couldn't be up with you guys.
Yeah.
But we take such comfort in connecting. It's such a powerful tool. For me, it actually literally infuses me with energy. There's something that's infused into me when I'm in that environment. And it's something I refer to as sibling love. It's like no other. But it's generated from the matriarch and the patriarch. So mom, eventually, hopefully mom gets onto this show as well. And and you guys will get to meet our matriarch.
Mm.
The second half of the whole that started this bus rolling, because from mom and dad and the way they've loved on us, we cannot afford to love on each other. You go first. What comes to mind for you?
And I've just been digging into the archives in my memory.
That's the whole idea.
Talk about. I think I'll talk about one that I think is really fun that we do. So whenever we plan to meet in, like, say, Nigeria, I can't remember the last time we were all in Nigeria together.
Yes.
I think it was that birthday 2019. So we all came trickles, like, from different parts of the world, Nigeria. Well, those are Nigeria, London, and America at different times. And each time, okay, I think
I know what you're about to say.
Ebu came to pick me up. And then later on that evening, I think Wale came. Ebu and I went to pick him up. And the next day, I think Banji came. Ebu, Wale, and I went to pick Banji up. And then the following day, Akinka came. Ebu, Wale, myself, and Banji went to pick Akinka up.
I love it.
Same thing.
That's brilliant. That is
going to job, and we're all going together different times. And I mean, it looked silly, but to us it was natural and fun. I mean, we wouldn't have done it the other way, because of, like, the excitement of seeing, each other. And we were just, that was fun. I loved it, and that's how we always do.
Fantastic. That's such an apt example to use.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at a few of the questions that are coming up before Ebu goes into this. What comes to mind for you?
I think I would say Wale's birthday in 2022 or 2021. Wale's 50th, the surprise birthday we had for Wale in London. And I remember I was heavily pregnant.
Yes, you were.
And
you were being
I remember I didn't care that I was heavily pregnant. We went to the airport to pick up Temi and Akika, and then we went to go and surprise Wale. I climbed with my big belly. I climbed how many stairs? I think 8 flights of stairs.
Really? I didn't even know that.
To go and, because I was not going to miss that surprise, because I knew Wale was going to totally flip. And he did. He literally did. He literally tried to do a flip. I don't remember. He tried to do a flip. He tried to actually flip. Yeah, he did. And then Banji's coming, and just the love. I mean, people, especially I love my in-laws. You all know I love you, but just saying, some of them may not understand it. It takes getting used to. I know, but Bosu would ask me, I don't understand. When Banji's around or when Timmy's around, but you went there yesterday now. Didn't you go there yesterday? You're going again today. Are you going to go every day? I said, yeah, I'm going to go and see them every day. Yes. Literally, it's the bond. The bond is unmistakable.
Daddy Sayo
is unbreakable.
It's unbreakable. Daddy Sayo is echoing you here. Daddy Sayo is saying it was amazing.
It was, wasn't it?
It really was.
You remember? It literally flipped.
He literally flipped. Now, did you say Mama is in the building?
She's coming in the house.
That's fine.
I don't want to come out.
That's fine.
I'm not going to tell them to bring her straight here to where I am.
Okay, good deal. So what I wanted to really highlight today is the fact that we meet families every day. And I'm sure there are families out there that maybe share this kind of love. I just haven't seen it yet. And it might be that people haven't seen ours either. But those that have seen ours, they comment on it. But the beautiful thing about it is not something to just boast about because you want to make people jealous. No. It's something to boast about because you're not just proud of it, you thrive off of it. I literally thrive off of the love I get from my parents, my siblings. And it's so dependable. Mama. Hey, mommy.
Hi.
Hi, Mom.
Welcome to this show.
We thank God that the way God builds us, we didn't do it ourselves. It's us doing that. He wants togetherness in every family, and that togetherness should spread. It makes God Himself happy.
I think about, I go back in time and I think about the sacrifices you made for us. But I think more about the fact that when you made the sacrifices, it didn't look as if they were a sacrifice for you. You would always do it with such passion and power that you carry everything along with it. Everything just gets uprooted and flows with that power and passion. You're driving whatever the agenda was for that particular situation. And I remember that. So I really pray people can have mothers like you. People out there that are listening to this that don't have a mother like you, I pray their mothers are either touched by this or they're able to connect with a mother figure. Because mom is not just mom to us. Mom is mother to many. My cousins, my friends, everybody talks about
Her church.
The whole church.
her church.
I have, and much as I was the proprietress's daughter, she tried to make sure as much as she could, okay, because there's always a limit to everything, right? Tried to make sure that I wasn't singled out to be favored or anything. She tried to make sure that there was, no favoritism for me, so that I would be well grounded.
Sure,
like I
she
said,
did. Of course
she did have tests. She did. She actually did. Because teachers would beat me even more because I was big auntie's child. Yeah, sometimes. Yes, I did get that.
You.
Especially the Ghanaian teachers.
They will smack you more.
Yeah.
Because you're a big auntie's child.
Yes.
That's because they live a certain way.
I was such a good girl. What?
Of course you were, darling. Of course you were.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on.
So I encourage everyone listening to this, call your parents regularly. Call your parents, if possible, every day. If not every day, let them be able to not worry about you because they've spoken to you recently enough not to worry about you. I really, really encourage that. When you do things because you want to do them, as opposed to doing it because you have to do it, you do it with a different energy, a different level of passion. And it's usually more successful because you want to do it. So we have our conversations, we either audio call or video call. Thank God for technology today. Video call because we all live in different countries. But the only way we can get together like this now is either on the phone or by video. So I encourage everyone to do it. So Mom, I want to ask you, Mom, when you think about motherhood, what pearl from your experiences can you give to the mothers out there with kids that they're not happy with kids that are stressful for them? What do you tell those mothers?
Well, to start with, mother is mother. And the meaning of mother is love. It's love. So we know that that's what God gave them to us for. To love them as He has loved us. That every movement you make, you think of that one in that country, that one in this country, that one in the country where you haven't even seen for years. But you think of the thought of you're thinking of him or her is enough for you to feel happy. And once in a long while, sometimes I don't hear from them for 4 years because they are busy.
Your kids?
Yes.
4 years.
Oh, sorry. 4 months.
4
months.
4 days.
4 days.
4 days. Thank you very much. Not your kids. Not 4 months, not 4 weeks. 4 days. Tops.
4 days. That's right. Because if they don't call, I will call them.
Exactly.
And when I I don't get them, I keep calling. Where are these children? Where did this one go to? Where did that one go to? And then I just say, okay. Anyway, God knows where you are. God is taking care of you. And we love you. And that is it. And soon after, that's the interesting part of our own setting. Soon after, few days after, that child will call wherever he or she is. I've been calling you. Where are you? Mommy, I've been calling you too. And we just laugh it off as if, what's the big deal? It is a big deal to hear their voices. They want to hear your voice. They want to pearl with you. They want to tell you a story that they want you to share with them or something else. You know, so that's love.
When you love, more importantly, when you're loved the way our mother and our father love us, we have love overflowing.
That's true.
We have love overflowing, and it overflows into each other, into my siblings, and to our kids.
That's it. Let me remind you of one story. We were together somewhere celebrating Daddy's birthday, and all I always notice, you have to go downstairs to go and eat breakfast, lunch, party
In the hotel.
In the hotel. And I just marvel at the way they pair each other according to their own age group.
So the grandkids form cliques.
Yes. And you won't hear any sound, no sound, no fight, no nothing.
No conflict.
Everyone's
loving on each other.
And they share one spoon sometimes. You're wearing your shoes. Good boy, Bobby. That's my 14 grandchildren speaking to you. My 14 grandchild speaking to you.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I really don't know what I can do about that because he was inside before. Sorry.
Nothing at all. It's all love. You see, the whole idea of this show for me is teaching people empowering people to thrive. How do you thrive? As opposed to just surviving and unfortunately failing. Because at any point in time, you're either failing, you're surviving, or you're thriving. So how do we thrive? One of the key things to thrive is to be loved. One of the best ways to be loved is to love. So when you love and you're loved is a recipe, is an ingredient needed to thrive. So one of the things that helps us, the five of us, thrive in our days today, our lives today, is definitely from the loves we got from our parents.
Yeah.
The truth is that with pure love, unconditional love, the kind of love where I do something to piss off Timmy, but she still does something that I need later on today, because she loves me, not because of how I behave to her today, but it's unconditional. There's nothing I can do, there's nothing that she can do to prevent us from loving each other. It just doesn't exist. And that's how it's supposed to be. Because love doesn't mean you should be taken for granted and not chastised and not, bring people to order. You bring people to order, but you do it in love.
Yeah.
It's all done in love. You can correct in love. You can redirect in love.
Yeah.
But the way people do things today, because I see it happening all the time. In my clinic, I see it happening all the time. Why I don't see children dishonoring their parents. And it should not happen. It should not happen. But in addition, parents, love your kids.
Yeah.
Don't not love them because they dishonor you. When they dishonor you, love on them and inspire them to honor you.
And yes, very, very important. And I think patience as well. you know. Having being a single mom required a lot of patience. I'm just going to give a very little testimony. My oldest son, the first one, who is going to be 23, said he said, I remember when he was about 16, you know, very, very despondent and angry teenager then, because you know I just separated from his father. So he just didn't want to go to school anymore. He didn't want to do anything. He said he's not going to school, he's not going to study. He told me I was wasting my money, that, you know, I was doing private lessons. I got private lessons for him, private tuition. He told me I was wasting my money. He even told the lesson tutor, you're wasting your time. I don't want to go to school. I want to stay at home. I want to just play. I'm angry. I don't want to do anything. So his GCSE that he did back then, he failed it. He failed it and he said, I told you I don't want to go to school. So what do you expect? Last weekend, my graduated from university with 3 A's and a B.
Yes.
You know.
I love it.
I have to also mention that my brothers were there supporting him. I actually sent him to my younger brother in Ohio. He just worked on him. It got to a point that my son said to him, Uncle, why do you care so much? Why do you even care? I was like, I care because I love you. And I'm going to continue to put in you what I know is already there and will germinate, will grow.
Yes.
Loved, and I'm going to stay on that case. I'm going to be on your matter.
And he was. And he was.
To the glory of God, my son
4 years later.
Graduates 4 years later.
Fantastic.
So yes,
Fantastic.
I never gave up. I was there in prayer on my knees, loving on all my children, you know, and that's it. My mom said it's love. It's love.
It's that simple.
You love.
Yes.
You know, God will not put more on you than you can bear. Sorry.
Yes.
So he knows I can bear it. Is why he did that. 3 boys, little me. Here we are.
You ain't so little now.
No.
You got 3 big boys. You can only be so little.
Yeah, my
3 big boys.
But yeah.
I love it. Fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic. Ebon, so you have a girl and a boy now. Yes? It was our younger sister. She's the youngest in the family. And, you know, with your 2 kids, what comes to mind for you that has changed in your life after your second child? So if you had your first child, then you had your second child. So your first child they call them the practice child. So I was a practice child. Yes, the first child. Now you're having your second child. What pearl did you learn from your first child that you're applying to your second child now? One pearl that comes to mind for you.
Well, my first child is 11, yes. And my son is 2. And my son is 2. What did I learn? Wow, it's a lot.
One pearl that comes to mind for you. Something that you learned from the first experience of motherhood that you're now applying to the second experience of motherhood.
Prayers.
So
I prayed with Mo, but I just prayed with Mo. But with Bobby, I tried to let him pray along with me. So he's, you know, in Jesus' name, he will shout amen. He will praise the Lord. He will say hallelujah. You know, we try to watch Bible stories on the internet. Because obviously, if I read to him, he probably won't understand anything I'm saying. But he's watching it, and he engages him at least for a few minutes. I mean, he's 2. I would definitely say that's one I am working on. And something very weird. I don't know if it's very relevant right now, but I was talking about it today. Bobby.
Don't worry about Bobby. Let me be Bobby.
So, you know, I remember when Mo was younger, you know, just to deter her from going to somewhere that she's not supposed to go, I would say something like, Mo, don't go there. Otherwise, something will catch you there. You know, I would scare her away from that place. And I realized that
it traumatized her for years. So you, my siblings know that she can't go into a room by herself. It's now that she's 11 that she can now sleep on her bed by herself, or can sleep in her room by herself now.
Wow.
So whenever anybody's saying anything to Bobby, I say to him, no, don't say that. Don't say anything to scare him. Don't threaten him with anything. Just say don't go there, or if you go there, will smack you, as opposed to something will catch you, or something would get you, just so that for me, Bobby's a boy. He's a boy child. I know you think it may not be the same thing, but for me, that is such a big thing, because it took more years.
It's a big deal.
Years to.
It's a big deal. And one thing I add what you're saying.
Understand it.
One thing I just add to what you're saying real quick is I had the last podcast I did was with Tim Dakolo, and he said something that was so powerful. He said that we're all born with a void. There's a void within us. It can either be filled by love or by fear. We have to be intentional to make sure that we fill that void in our children with love, which is what you learned from your first experience into your second. That's powerful.
It's very big one.
Very big one.
Yeah. Very huge.
Because the robbery that we suffered didn't help matters. It drew her back really bad.
Right.
And she was not able to be. My daughter couldn't go to the bathroom by herself.
So what Eb was referring to is something that happened to my sister a couple of years ago, where she was robbed at home and went through a very, very
in the middle of the night,
very, very terrible ordeal with these very, very terrible people that literally scarred the kids, especially Mo. Bobby wasn't there.
Bobby was in my belly.
Bobby was in your belly.
He was in my belly.
Wow.
I was heavily pregnant.
That's amazing.
It was a lot.
To the glory of God, that we can talk about in the past.
Mo doesn't want anybody
Mo is powerfully past it. Good. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Powerfully.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, that's mine. Just for me, the kids, I'm no pro. Far from it. I'm learning every day. And being married,
mama next to you.
So I don't forget also, I raised my daughter as single for most of her life. I'm raising my son married to their father. They have the same father. Let me clarify that very quickly. They have the same father, yes, but we got married not too long ago, right? And so I'm raising my son with his father directly in his life, as opposed to seeing him every once in a while, because he was very involved in Mo's life, but he wasn't living with us. So there's a lot. I'm learning a lot. And one thing I would say is, I'm happy to share the burden of raising the child. I'm happy to share the burden. Yes, I'm happy to, not the burden, maybe burden is not the right word, but I'm happy to share the responsibility of raising a child.
Yes.
With Bosso. It's definitely easier.
Definitely easier. More loving, more fun, but
more engaging, more. And sometimes I can just rest my back and just leave him to take the decision. I don't have to be responsible for whatever decision we make. So that is something.
That's a big one. But so for people that don't have that powerful addition, like Timmy, that becomes very important to make sure you have the father figures present. Powerfully present in their lives, because it takes a village to raise a child. But mom and dad in the child's life is key.
Yeah.
Is key. Now, it was easier for you being married than being single with Bobby than as opposed to Mo. But Mo wasn't deprived of fatherly love.
It was very much involved.
It was very much involved, and that's key. So I'm talking to parents out there. Parents, you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility. You have to love your kids. They didn't ask to be brought into this world. You brought them in. They are your responsibility, no matter what's happening with you. I'm not minimizing or trivializing what's happening with anybody. What I'm saying, though, that the love you give your child is not negotiable.
Yeah.
Because they grow on it. The same way you become what you eat, you literally manifest the love that you are loved with as an adult. An adult, you can tell people that were loved and people that were not loved as a child. But having said that, if you're one of those that was not loved as a child, you can be loved today.
Yeah.
But you have to be intentional about it. And the best way to be loved is to first love. It's so important.
Okay.
Mom, Timmy, Ebu, I love you guys, but you guys know that.
Love you, bro.
I know
love you right
love
back,
me.
bro.
Love you, Cinnamon.
Best big brother.
VVV. That's what
Best big brother.
Love you.
Love you all too.
God bless
Thanks for
you.
coming on. God bless you. And I look forward
God
to
bless you guys.
doing more of this. I really want to bring my family out to show people with families and people that don't have families how families should be, how families can be, an idea as to how high it can go. Because I know as we have thrived in our family life, we can thrive even higher if we're intentional about it. So be loved. Get love, but first of all, love. And when you're loved, appreciate the love you're given.
Yeah.
Let people know, let people that love you know you appreciate them loving you. Empower them to love you. It's so important. So till next time, I want to encourage everyone to thrive, but then love so you can thrive even higher. Till next time, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.